Well, I think that we live in a society right now where everyone is attractive to sexy fads. Okay, let me take the Ozempic. Let me pop this pill, or let me do this weird, unique fitness thing that's going to make me supposedly lose, like, get me, washboard abs in 2 minutes. So it's sexy to be able to gravitate to quick fix solutions. It's not sexy to say, hey, you've got to eat, you've got to exercise, and it takes time, and it takes, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Welcome to another episode of the Matter Over Mind Experience. I'm your host, Master Trainer and Weight Management Expert, Narado Zico Powell. And I have another I don't even want to say fitness celebrity. I'm talking about someone who really knows the industry. We has a ton of knowledge. My man, Obi Obadike. I mean, he has sculpted stars like Morris Chestnut. And we know what Morris Chestnut looks like, right? So everybody knows what he looks like. My girlfriend is telling me over here, she's like, oh, I'll leave you for Morris Chestnut. So, he's worked with people like that. Steve Harvey, Stephen A. Smith. I mean, he brings so much expertise and insight to the world of fitness. He's the co-author of a #1 selling book. It's called The Cut. And it has transformative methods that have reshaped bodies and lives. With co-owned with a natural supplements company as well. He's been featured on Best Buy and accolades from Dr. Oz. I mean, those are big accolades, right? He had been on major talk shows as well. So tune in today's episode because we have a lot of tips for you and wisdom from this fitness knowledgeable expert that we're going to drop on you today. And if I'll be remiss, I don't remind everybody of this. The Zico recommendation page is hot and it's dropped. So remember, in the description of the podcast, the Zico recommendation page is available to click on, see some of the wonderful supplements. Remember, I'm food first. Everybody knows that. Obadike, my man, he's food first. He's nutrition first. Sometimes you need some supplements. Check them out. And the discount codes are there for you as well, so you can save some money. So I remember that. I remember to give that to you. Now, with that being said, Obi, welcome to the show, my man.
Hey, thank you so much, Zico. I appreciate you having me on the show. And thank you for that phenomenal introduction, and thank you so much. I'm glad to be on your show.
I'm glad to hear, my friend. And with that being said, buddy, I want to dive right into this. I want my audience to know the stuff that you know. And there's a little bit of stuff what you know, because you know even way more than I do here. So, see, your influence in the fitness industry, of course, has been remarkable, right? And we said, recognized by Dr. Oz and major talk show. But what's been the most rewarding aspect of sharing your health and fitness insights on these platforms?
Well, I think the most amazing thing is to be able to, the feedback that you get from people when you're sharing your knowledge, whether it's diet, nutrition, exercise, fitness tips, or whatever. And the feedback you get from people when they say, oh my God, I applied that to my lifestyle habits, and this is what it did. So when you get feedback from people that say that it helped and improved their life, it just gives you extra energy. Gives you extra motivation to know that you're doing good things and you're doing positive things. So the bigger the platform, the better it is. But ultimately, if you can influence and impact one person, that's equivalent of 10 million people. So I feel like I was put on this earth for a reason, which is really to be a voice, an influential, impactful voice, to try to impact as many people as I can to be healthier and to basically incorporate, positive lifestyle habits that they can apply that can allow them to live a healthy life and live a long life too, because this is what it's really about. It's like we all know that exercise and eating the right foods is really going to elongate your life. And that's really so important for people to know.
People may be watching this or listening to this and say, I hear it all the time. Yeah, I got to exercise. I got to cut my calories and lose weight, yada, yada, yada. This never really works for me. I'm sick and tired of hearing this advice all the time. And now this man's going to tell me about this same stuff. What do you have to say to individuals that kind of feel that they're in that rut,
Well, I think that we live in a society right now where everyone is attractive to sexy fads. Okay. Let me take the Ozempic, let me pop this pill, or let me do this weird, unique fitness thing that's going to make me supposedly lose, like, get me, washboard abs in 2 minutes. So it's sexy to be able to gravitate to quick fix solutions. It's not sexy to say, hey, you've got to eat, you've got to exercise, and it takes time, and it takes, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So it's, that's the problem, is that we have a society that is more quick fix. They gravitate to quick fix solutions, and trying to give them, information and let them know, hey, it takes time. It is a marathon, but once you're able to get there, and you apply those habits consistently over time, you can stay there. So I think it's just really the delivery, how you articulate the message, and trying to articulate it in a way that is disseminated, that they can understand it, but also at the same time, it doesn't sound so redundant. A lot of times, like, many of us are all given the same information. It's just how it's disseminated. You know what I mean? It's how you disseminate the message in a way that the person can absorb it. It's almost like, someone can maybe hear me better than maybe somebody else just because of how I put the message out, So, but I think ultimately, I think it's important for all of us to still be consistent with putting out the right information, even though it's contradictory to our instincts of gravitating to quick fix solutions. You know what I mean? And that's the problem. That's the problem that you and I are having, and health experts are having, is we're trying to fight against the human instinct, a lot of the human instincts in our society that gravitate to quick fix solutions that really there's no credibility in it, versus someone that's giving you sound information that may not be as sexy and that might be pretty boring, but it's the right information.
See, everyone, that's why you don't see me out there dancing on Instagram and TikTok, everybody. First of all, you don't want to see my dance moves anyway, but I'm trying to give you good information. I don't want to burn your eyes. I don't want to burn your eyes. So, but seriously, let's talk about The Cut, right? I mean, it's a fantastic book, and you also have own your own company as well, right? So how did these ventures shape your approach to fitness and supplementation?
Well, I think for me was, from where I came from the fitness and bodybuilding industry, where everything was extreme, getting shredded and ripped, and these fitness magazine covers, doing all these fitness shoots. And so initially when I first came in the industry, before social media even exploded, I worked with a lot of fitness competitors that wanted to get shredded and ripped for fitness competition stage. And I realized I wasn't getting much out of it, because you're already in shape already. And then I realized that I got more out of really helping someone that was overweight and obese, that really is unhealthy, and they really need help. So I made that transition from the extreme fitness and bodybuilding industry to more working with, middle America, mainstream, the everyday average male or female that is really out of shape, really overweight, and trying to create a program that can help them. So with The Cut, how that kind of worked out was I got Morris Chestnut, the actor, in the best shape of his life for a movie called The Best Man Holiday in 2013. And then when he was doing press for the movie, everybody was asking him about, he got in the best shape of his life. At the time he was 44, if I'm not mistaken. And everyone was asking him, what did you do to look like that? What did you do? What was the diet? What was your secrets? So they were asking him more about how he transformed his body versus the film, and he ended up losing like 33 pounds in 12 weeks. So I was getting contacted, and he was getting contacted because he had mentioned me. And then I said, you know what, I think we should do a 12-week transformation book, transforming the everyday average person. So that was the idea that came about. I didn't want it to be celebrity based. I wanted it to be more of the everyday average person that wants to lose weight. So I really tried to simplify the program. And I believe in the 80-20 rule, which is eating healthy 80% of the time, cheating 20% of the time, having days where you can indulge. I don't believe in anything too extreme, because I just think that most people tend to fail when you've got a program that's extreme, whether it's an exercise or it's diet. So then he was kind of like the celebrity face of the book. And of course, I was the diet and exercise guy. He was more of the motivator. And we actually did, typically if if you're really fit like myself, it's really hard for people to really pay attention to you sometimes. Sometimes being too fit can be used against you because, like, what do you know about looking like me, who's out of shape or overweight? So what I did was I really believe in focus groups. I did a focus group on about 15, 16 male and females that went through the program, and then their before and afters were featured on the back cover of the book. And then when we were doing national press, we were on the Steve Harvey Show and Rachel Ray and all these huge national daytime talk shows. They would they would show their before and after transformations on their before and after transformations from what they went through with the book in terms of the program. So that was what helped to validate the diet and exercise system from the cut, and gave it so much credibility that it's not about some celebrity losing weight for a movie. This is for the everyday average person. And this is why and that was really what I really enjoyed doing, is really helping everyday average person that wants to lose weight, bottom line, or get healthy.
And the tips in the book is, like you said, they're simplified, and these are things they can take with them for the rest of their lives. It's not just, okay, eat some spinach and some hummus or something for the next 10 days and lose a bunch of weight. Like, it's really practical tips that we can apply to our lives, and that's why you should go check that book out, because these are things that we need more and more in this industry. I'll be completely honest, because we have too many fad diets out there, and some of diets are not even necessarily fad. They're just important for what you're trying to accomplish. Like you said it, Obi, if you're a bodybuilder, you have to, some of them go into ketosis at times when they're trying to cut. There are different things that happen. So ketosis itself is not bad, but for the average person, that may not be your thing, right? So I like how you take these daily approaches, that things that people can apply to the rest of their lives. And I want to make sure I definitely nail that down there. Now, we have a couple more things to talk about with Obi, but before I do that, your boy have to tell you about one of his favorite company. Yeah, I'm talking about the Amino Co. And yes, everybody, if you're watching me, I'm talking about Heal. Heal is 100% science-backed essential amino acid formulation designed to reduce recovery times and improve physical function by accelerating muscle repair, by helping you maintain a healthy inflammatory response. I absolutely love Heal because it's an EAA formulation, not BCAAs, but EAAs, and it has creatine. And I always tell people, I don't know if Obi agree with this, if you put a gun to my head and say there's one supplement that you can take for the rest of your life while you're lifting, I'm taking creatine.
Well,
I like the fact that it has creatine. You like that? And it has creatine, it has essential aminos, and whey protein concentrate. It's actually originally designed for NASA astronauts to help them to maintain muscle mass while they're in space. I absolutely love Heal, and I drink it every single day. In fact, sometimes I drink it as an intro workout, depending how long my workout is, well, to help me to bang through the second half of my workout. There's just so many benefits of that particular combination put together by Robert Wolf. He said there's a recent clinical trial which compared 1 and 2 scoop amounts of Heal with high quality whey protein. The net balance of whole body protein synthesis, I'm sorry, I apologize, I swallowed there, everybody. The net balance whole body protein synthesis and breakdown were measured, and the response to Heal was found to be 3 times larger than whey protein on a gram-to-gram basis. 3 times larger. Again, it's a particular blend of EAAs along with creatine and the whey protein concentrate your body can use extremely well. I love it. On the website, zecohealth.com, aminoco.com/zecohealth, which will be in the description of the podcast. You click on there, you see this handsome face just smiling at you, and you get 30% off these wonderful products. I see Obi looking at me all funny over there, man. What you trying to say? What you trying to say?
No. Look, I love. Look, I'm a fan. Love what you're doing, man. And I definitely agree with you. And this is just in general. Creatine is definitely, in my opinion, arguably the best muscle building dietary supplement that you can buy. All my clients take it that are looking to build muscle, maintain muscle, and it is magic. Really is.
Yeah, I tell people if you don't do anything, you need creatine. But when you what I like about Helio, it has a particular combination of the EAAs and the creatine, which your body, and that's why I absolutely love it. I've been using it now for like a year and a half and seeing absolute, like, not better in my workouts. I have people use it, but like I have friends who use it sometimes, like particularly on just leg day, because they need that extra to kind of bang through the second half of their leg day. I absolutely love it. But you're right. I'm telling you, even if you take out EAAs, creatine is that one thing that I'm like, you put a gun to my head and ask me what's one supplement I will take with me, it's gonna be creatine. I'm telling you, absolutely love it. But back to my man, enough of me talking. Everybody's tired of me. I'm gonna get back to the expert over here because
All
we have
good,
some more
man.
things to talk about, right? So apparently, he has been hosting Lifestyle Magazine for I think 7 seasons, right? Reaching a
Well,
global audience. And
and
it's
just to correct you, I'm sorry. I hosted it from 2000, I believe, 14 to 2021. I'm not attached to that show anymore, but I was attached to it for 7 seasons. Yes.
yes, and I personally have not seen it, so I'm not gonna lie, but I've heard really good things about it, to be honest. So my question is, what lessons or moments from that show stand out like pivotal in advocating a balanced lifestyle?
That show was like the show was based off of whole base health, mind, body, and soul. I was the diet nutrition expert on the show, so I think that show, that audience was really about raising awareness on helping people to raise awareness of all types of different health issues, whether it's heart disease, whether it's cancer, whether it's type 2 diabetes. So that show, we featured a lot of people that either went through a chronic health disease and they were able to overcome it. And then me, as the diet and exercise guy on the show at the time, I was the guy that really provided the diet and exercise aspect and how that is critical in lowering the risk of any chronic health disease. And so that show was really produced. It was a kind of a faith-based, Christian-based type of show that aired on national faith-based network. So I wouldn't, even though it was on national TV, it was really more in the faith-based genre. So it was one of those shows that you really would have to watch those type of platforms to be able to really know what that show was about. But for the most part, most of my experience was positive as far as when I was on the show. And it was great to be associated with that platform in terms of what I was able to do there.
A follow-up thought on that is because at the end I ask more for a balanced lifestyle, and people they're different. That means different things to different people. I know you don't believe in going to extremes, right? But if you were to give just general information to someone about living a balanced lifestyle, what's some of the things that you may point out?
Sure. Well, living a balanced lifestyle means it means enjoying your life. It means being able to exercise. About 4 days a week. Nothing like 6 or 7 days a week. It means eating healthy and eating clean, but still enjoying your life, still being able to indulge, on the weekends within moderation. It means, when you go out to a movie or whatever, you can enjoy a popcorn, you can enjoy a fruit drink, that has a little bit of extra sugar, and that maybe is your reward for eating healthy throughout the week. It also means being able to take stressors out of your life, things that stress you out, environmental stuff. Maybe it's you've got people that stress you out or things that are around you that stress you out. It also means being in an environment that people are supporting you, making you feel good. Because if you're in an environment that doesn't make you feel good, that's a stress, that's an anxiety. And that is important for your overall health. And balance is being able to still do what's necessary to stay healthy, but also still enjoy your life and enjoy indulging a little bit as well too. Because when you have that really good ratio, a really good balance ratio, that really is the ultimate health, is when you have a really good ratio of good good lifestyle, healthy habits, but also still able to indulge and enjoy your life within moderation. You can still drink alcohol, you know what I mean, within moderation, whether it's 1 to 2 drinks a week. You can still indulge and have a cheat meal or two, or even three, provided that you're eating healthy and you're exercising. So, because all the studies have shown that if you do anything extreme, most people typically fail. Most people psychologically typically fail when everything is too extreme. So what's the point of going so extreme and then you fail because it was too much for your body, mentally and physically? You know what I mean? So that's what a balanced lifestyle means, is balance. in your life. Extreme moderation.
By the time this episode comes out, it's gonna be February, so like the second Monday in February. So I don't know if some of the New Year's resolutions have already dropped off by now, but I'm trying to give a word of encouragement here, right? Because that's the perfect example. You know, someone who's doesn't really work out or something, they've never even worked out before, start January 1st. I'm on a diet, you know, and that's their mindset, and they're gonna starve themselves and work out, which is like a disaster all within itself, right? And then after a week or two, they feel terrible, they feel crappy, they give up. And that's the difference. When you live a balanced lifestyle, your new changes don't have to take over your life. It just has to add value to your life. And I think that's what they're missing instead, because they go from one extreme, then they feel crappy. Then what do, Obi? Go back to what they were doing before. So it's like they go back to another extreme instead of hitting in
go
the
back.
middle.
Yeah, they go back. And you also think, well, also what's also important is being able to write down what you plan on doing throughout the week, as far as what you plan on eating, what you plan on exercising, before the week starts. Because what happens when you write it down, it's that notepad, that information you write down, it holds you accountable. The biggest problem for a lot of people is the accountability. They don't have anybody holding them accountable. That's why a lot of people, when someone hires a trainer, people hire a trainer just because of the knowledge. Yeah, that's true. But I guarantee you, if you did studies, it's more of the accountability more than anything. Because someone's going to hold you accountable. You know what I mean? You got someone waiting there. You got someone watching you. And they don't want to let that person down. It's just having someone to hold them accountable. So accountability is a big thing. And that's a way to hold you accountable to incorporating those positive lifestyle habits of exercising and eating the right way.
I always feel like somebody is watching me. That's all I'm saying. You got somebody to watch you. You got somebody to keep you accountable. I love it. I agree with that. I agree with that. Because I know some people who stick with me even like after I'm done with my program, and they just want to continue because they know what they need to know, but they just stick with me at that point just for the accountability piece.
Accountability,
100%
yeah.
right.
Accountability, yeah.
Definitely. And sometimes you can even get that with and I have in January last month I released an episode of tips to begin your weight loss journey in 2024. And I started with like knowing your why, but I also spoke about knowing how you're motivated. Like I'm internally motivated. So if I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna go do my thing, boom, boom, I'm done. Right. But if you're externally motivated and you have to change, change some things around that, maybe it means bringing a partner. Maybe it means, preparing for a particular event. Like you have to know yourself and set yourself up for success. You can't follow somebody else and what the other people do. You truly have to know yourself. And even good trainers, this OB, we get to learn our clients and learn how they think and how they function. And we develop our training programs around to challenge them, but yet within a way that is going to help instead of just yelling at them all the time because nobody likes that. But
Yes,
but
exactly.
one more thing I want to ask before I get out of here.
Sure.
One more thing I do want to ask before I get out of here, because I want to talk about your social media, right? Because you do have an impressive following. So, and you've leveraged this platform, you've inspired, you've educated. So what's the impact of the work that you've done on social media? And the reason why I want to ask that question is because we talked before the episode of like all these different influencers and all this crazy stuff we see out there. Well, what's the impact you've seen with your social media on others?
Well, I would say that I'm really big on creating daily to weekly health and wellness tips and content. So I'm a writer. Okay, so I create probably about believe it or not 5 to 7 articles a week. That I actually write for my supplement company, Ethical Inc. So what I do is I create the content and I push it out. Whether it's videos or article content on my social media platform. And I believe that the results that I get, the engagement that I get is thank you so much. They're really, when you can write an article and create a video and you create it in a way that the, a 12-year-old can understand it and absorb it and read it and apply that information to their life, it is a wonderful thing. So I probably give more than maybe I should for free, but it is something that I enjoy doing. And ultimately, for people to want to trust you from a credibility perspective, you have to be able to be open to giving out free information. And so that's what I do and this is what I've been doing for God, definitely for, decades, in terms of since social media has been around, is being able to create health and wellness content that people can apply to their everyday life. And I don't care about how many followers I have or the engagement. To me, it's just being able to impact just 1 to 2 to 3 people. Like I could care less about, someone that's got, hey, 3, 4, 5 million followers. To me, it's the quality of the content. To me, as opposed to how many followers are engaging. I know, as long as I know that I'm putting out high quality, I know that, it makes me be able to sleep well at night,
We need more people like you, my friend. We need more people like you in the industry, man. And with that being said, this is your time. This is it. Tell my audience, how can they connect with you on Instagram? How can they get
Cool. Well,
copy of your book?
I wanted to do a quick shameless plug, Zico. I got a supplement company called Ethical Inc. And we have we give out a free 30 and 60-day diet and exercise ebook with any purchase of our phenomenal ethical appetite weight loss suppressant. So we've got great products at Ethical Inc. You go to ethicalinc.com and get a free 30 and 60-day diet and exercise ebook, because we know that supplements is not supposed to do the job. You still want to give people the right diet and exercise information to help them lose weight. So for anyone that's out there that's looking to want to lose weight and get healthy or whatever, we got some great products to help you. And we're also giving you a free 30 and 60-day diet and exercise ebook. So if you go to ethicalinc.com, it's a company that me and Morris Chestnut owns. And that's it. And if you need to get a hold of me, and go to Obi Obadike on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, and find me. I'm always putting out daily health and wellness tips. And Zico, thank you so much for having me on your show. I think you're phenomenal at what you do. Very, very impressed with you and what you've accomplished and everything you've done in the podcast world. And I'll always continue to support you in what you're doing. You got me as my word.
Same here, my friend. I mean, we need more people like you out there. And the fact that our mindsets connect so well, I think we should definitely do some more work together. And,
brother, we definitely do more work. You can contact me anytime. In fact, after we get off this podcast, I'll send you my phone number. Let's keep in touch. And I'm sure there'll be some things that we can do together in the near future.
Definitely, my friend. Definitely, my friend. Thank you, man. I tell you. And everybody, to help everybody out, I'm going to put the ethicalinc.com website in his show notes as well. And the show notes is going to be zikahealth.com/Obi. But everybody knows my show notes are going to be in the description of the episode. So go to the episode, click on the description, go to the show notes. You see a description of the episode along with the website. So you can learn more. You can get your ebook. You can get your supplements. And something I love about Obi, he is food and nutrition first, but he guides you through it. He guides you through it.
Supplements are meant to supplement what you're not doing, right? Food is always going to be your best energy source for sure. I think that we would be doing a disservice. Any supplement company owner, if you're saying take this and don't eat any food, like that's ridiculous. And this is think about this. How many supplement owners are going to say, you know what? If you get all the proper nutrients in food, you don't really need any supplements. How many supplement owners are going to say that? They're not going to say that. They don't want to say that, but it's true. I'm saying it. You know what I mean? And that's about being honest and ethical. That's what we all have to do to make this industry a better place. You know what I'm saying?
100%. That's the best way to end the episode. Powerful words. Nothing else could be truer than this. And again, zikahealth.com/Obi, which will be in the description of the podcast. Click on there, get the show notes, and go to his website and learn more about his product that he has with Morris Chestnut. And with that being said, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We're out for the day, fam.